Adding Celox to your IFAK is a great idea, and make sure you carry it with you whenever you go to the range, or if you're any place where there's any shooting being done or any possibility of being severely cut and wounded. It's always a good idea to have it in your IFAK. Welcome back to Survival Existence. An IFAK, or individual first aid kit, is always a good thing to have with you whenever you go into a firing range, or you're out shooting, hunting, or even just hiking. A good place to have IFAK is also in your get-home bags and also your bug-out bags. Celox is a clotting agent that you can purchase either in granulated form or in bandage form. I have never used the bandage type of Salix before, but from what I gather, that's actually what most medical professionals suggest you use, because it's far easier to clean out of a wound. Salix is used for severe bleeding, either a large blood vein or an artery. Arteries pump a tremendous amount of blood in a short period of time and can cause you to bleed out and, of course, die from lack of blood. I'm going to put this Celox, which there's not really that much in there in this particular kit, but I'm going to put it in my IFAK so I can have it with me on my turnout vest. And I also have another box, several other boxes that I keep in bags, various bags around the house. There is two 2-gram packages of Celox in this box. And that's good enough for small wounds. This particular box comes with, of course, the 2 packages of 2 grams each of Celox. It also comes with a few bandages and a disinfecting wipe. One thing it does not have is rubber gloves, and you should always use rubber gloves whenever you're dealing with any kind of body fluids from anyone that you're not intimately familiar with, because of the possibility of blood-borne pathogens. I have one pair of relatively good gloves in this IFAK of mine, but I also have several other pairs that I keep in my packs and certainly in my turnout gear. This right here is a couple of pieces of 1-inch gauze. They're 1x1s. I strongly suggest getting something larger. You need more than that. Here's some ibuprofen that comes in the box. Here's a couple of antiseptic towelettes that also come in the box. Some Band-Aids and the Celox itself. Now, the only thing out of this entire box that I'll actually really insist on having is the Celox itself. These Band-Aids, they're fine for little boo-boos. Antiseptic wipes, if you're down to the point of needing Celox, you're not going to worry about antiseptic wipes. You have a severe bleeding situation going on, and you're going to use the Celox and bandages. The ibuprofen can come in handy. These 1x1 gauze or sponges are not large enough. It's just that simple. Whenever you use Celox, and quite often the information that comes with Celox isn't explanatory enough, but you pour the Celox itself into the wound, but then you cover it with some heavy gauze and keep pressure on it to stop the bleeding. Just it setting on it itself isn't nearly as likely to stop the bleeding. So as a consequence, you need other items that go along with this. I'll keep all this stuff because at some point I will use it, but it certainly will not be used for any kind of severe bleeding other than the Celox itself. The rest of this stuff I'll keep, but that's not for severe bleeding. The only thing that comes in this box that's actually useful is the Celox itself. My IFAK I keep on a turnout vest that I have. because chances are if I'm in a running gun battle, I'm going to have that vest with me. It has my AR mags. This IFAK has a blood stopper, bandages, rubber gloves, shears, and several other items that are useful to stop severe bleeding in case of a gunshot wound normally, but also works equally well in the case of a severe injury caused by some sort of bladed instrument such as a knife. I'm going to put this Celox down in here so that I know where it's at. And it would be useful, like I said, during a severe injury such as a gunshot wound. For those of you who are not familiar with an IFAK, if you've been in the military, you most definitely are familiar with them. Or if you've had any particular kind of training having to do with firearms, as far as tactical use of firearms, you're certainly going to be familiar with the IFAK. For those not familiar with the term IFAK, it is an individual first aid kit. Normally, if it's used on yourself. If you are in a situation where there is a great deal of shooting going on and you may be hit, or one of your partners may be hit, you should actually have an IFAK with you. Don't depend on someone else's IFAK. In and of itself, the way it's designed and the accepted usage is, it is an individual first aid kit. It's for the individual that's carrying it. If you're carrying an IFAK, you should never use your IFAK on someone else. If you do and you get shot, you'll have no kind of medical treatment available, either for yourself to use on yourself or for another individual to use on you. They'll keep their IFAK for themselves. This has been Bobby with Survival Existence, helping you help yourself. Come visit us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Survival Existence. Come visit our website at survivalexistence.com. Have a good day.